Hey guys, so I haven't done a vlog this week. We had some weather issues actually, so I thought I would do a little bit of a personal vlog today. Hopefully I can intercut in some of my experiences this weekend, but so Thursday hit and, or maybe it was, yeah, I think it would have been Wednesday. Thursday was more of the recovery, but Wednesday we had this huge storm blow through. It derailed a train, flipped a bunch of stuff over, brought some tree limbs down. It was a pretty crazy night, Wednesday night. And so Thursday I was more just trying to focus on recovering from all that craziness. I had no power the whole night Thursday night. So yeah. Anyways, this weekend actually is the premiere for the Saints Rest movie. So I actually want to talk to you guys a little bit about my experiences with the Saints Rest movie. What's really cool is I actually got to work on the movie for a week. So a little background story. When I was 18, I believe, maybe closer to 19 or 20, I got accepted into film school. I was going to go to school in Chicago. So my original plan was to go to Chicago and become a comedian, or homeless, probably homeless. When I was 18, that was my actual plan. And then I thought about it. I was like, man, I want to do film school. So I applied to the Chicago Institute of Art, the AI Art Institute branch, not the prestiged Chicago Institute of Art. It's still a really cool program, but it's more of a technical program. And what you would do is you would go there for a couple of years, and when you graduate, you would actually do a home show presentation. You would get a job from there, and then you could sign a contract with your job to actually pay your student loans through your check. Super cool program. I actually got accepted to go to film school because of my essay. I did not go because it was too expensive. And for a really long time, I was really hurt about that. Now, though, I got to work. So to catch you up, about 2 years ago, when the Saints Rest movie was filming, I had been let go from my job. That's a whole different story for a different piece of pie, my man, to quote a friend of mine. But anyways, I needed something to do, and they were looking for PAs to work on the set of Saints Rest. And I was like, well, I'm not going to get paid, but I'm going to have some experience, and it would be fun. So I did that. I worked for about a week there. And then I realized with that job how glad I was that I never got accepted to film school. So to get into it, it's kind of complicated. First of all, I really appreciate the work that I got to do. It was really, really fun. It was amazing. It was pretty stressful. However, the hardest part was the fact that they worked 12-hour days straight. It was really hard 12-hour days, and it was a straight shift. It was a lot of hurry up and wait. I don't think I'm built for that. So I'm glad for the work that I got to do. I had a lot of fun. But I think it made me realize that my path was not into making movies specifically. Anyways, to kind of break it down, I started, and I go there, and I just kind of show up, and I was a PA. And I was working for free, and somehow I got drafted into the art department specifically. I was just meant to just kind of do whatever, but that's kind of where they shoved me, was in the art department. So I got to work with this really cool guy named Kevin. Kevin was the leader of the art department, he was the head art director. Really, really nice guy. A lot of stress in that department specifically, because it was in between takes you would have to set up for the next thing, and it had to be really, really fast, and there was a lot of challenges that would kind of get put your way. And then at the end of the night, you had to put everything away. There was one night I specifically remember, and I appreciate Kevin so much for this, because I think anyone else I know would have just knocked my block off. But I'd kind of reached to my point of exhaustion. I'm a bigger fella, so kind of hit that peak point, and we're moving a couch, and this couch is insanely heavy, and we have to do crazy things to pick it up and get it through the doors in the college to get them stored there. I think they were coming from Saints Rest. and I just hit my point of exhaustion. And Kevin's like, you can just see it. Like there's one point where he was just like, and I could hear in his head just like, I'm gonna smack this guy, because I couldn't do it. I was like, Kevin, I can't do anymore. Like I was so tired. I think it was midnight. I was beyond my point of exhaustion. I'm not that guy that's built to be able to just do random hours, so it was a lot of hurry up and wait. Starting my first day, I was super nervous. We got put in charge of turtle paintings. We had to match them up with frames and get them placed into frames and make them look really, really nice. And I remember Kevin having this conversation where he's like, these look okay, but these have to look excellent. Kevin was always very direct and very specific, but he was always very respectful, which was really, really cool. So then, there was that. I did some painting. I remember meeting the director for the first time, Noga. And she shows up and she's walking around going, wow, guys, everything just looks amazing. Except no one had introduced me to Noga. I'd never met Noga. All my conversations were through Noga's assistant, I think. And all I kept thinking was like, that is the most enthusiastic intern I have ever seen in my life. And then I find out down the road that that's the director, because I didn't see her doing any of the shots or anything. I was in the background dealing with turtle paintings, so I didn't quite understand. Someone was able to correct me on that way before I made a jerk of myself. And I wasn't being negative about it. I was just like, wow, she's got a lot of enthusiasm. But the thing about her being the director and that attitude that was the most impressive was the fact that it carried throughout that week. That she just was extremely positive and energetic, despite working these extremely long hours and tiresome hours and stuff. And to me, that was the most impressive thing about Noga, was the fact that she was she's just this positive force that really reigned over the whole thing. And she was very specific and resilient in what she wanted. And for me, that's a good thing, even though it meant a lot more work, a lot longer hours, focusing on one thing rather than a few things. But, I was okay with that. I think the hardest part about my position was I wasn't really sure where I was supposed to be. I didn't quite understand that I was supposed to be just the art department all the time. So there were times where I'd be over helping someone else with something, because I just try to help. Wherever I'm at, and Kevin would be like, why you're supposed to be over here, waiting at my beck and call, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. To talk about Kevin, there was that one experience with the couch that really showed his patience, even in the most tiresome thing. But the other thing that I want to talk about was Kevin was really inspirational to me. For some of you who don't know, I did a lot of running last year, and I did a lot of running the year before. I haven't done so much running, but I want to get back into it. But Kevin, I talked to him, and he had been on a very tough journey similar to mine, and he kind of talked to me about that. And he was very comforting and inspirational and supportive for what I was trying to do. I just love that about him. I still remember that today, and I'm still super thankful for that, because that still becomes like a drive every time I try and get up and do something. Because it's not always easy trying to exercise when you're as big as I am, and sometimes it hurts. So he was super, super helpful with that. But the end of that week came, and that was kind of hard. I had to start my new job, and it was kind of hard breaking away from something that I had started that was so much fun. But at the same time, I was extremely exhausted. That last shift I worked was from, I believe, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That was super difficult. So huge props to anybody in the movie industry. But that was my experience. I kind of wanted to share my experiences with you guys working on the set of the Saints Rest movie. It's now 2 years later. Today is the first day I'm going to be able to see it, so I'm going to try and do a review for you guys. I'm also really, really excited. I'm hoping maybe to snag a few interviews. I'm trying to schedule to do an interview with Noga, but it's really, really difficult. So in talks with her, though, she says that she will be back in town eventually. So if I don't catch her this weekend, I might catch her again further down the road. So yeah, and huge props to Noga. She's actually really trying to make this work. Even though she has like a super busy schedule right now. The film's already getting really good reviews, so I'm super excited to see it tonight. I'm going to watch it at the college. I won't be able to see it at the Strand where I really, really wanted to watch it, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to the college. We're going to watch it tonight. I'll let you guys know what I think. Maybe I'll get a few, just spot on interviews with some people tonight. But yeah, that's my story, guys. Good news. I just got a quick interview with Noga in. Very quick. It went pretty well, except at like the middle of the interview, a flock of old people showed up and just started talking. So old people, you know who you are. And like they get past this and I'm like, okay, they're almost gone. And then they stop right next to us and just keep flock of old peopling. And then they leave and two people get in their car and just leave the engines running. So I'll probably have to do some post audio production. But just kind of a funny story. It was just kind of like environmental factors for shooting interviews are such a pain in the ass. But we wanted to shoot outside. I wanted to get a different atmosphere than Crosby's interview because his was inside. So I did it outside with the Saints Rest logo behind. That way to kind of like set the mood. But it was a great interview. I got that pumped in there, which is good. Next interview, we're gonna start setting up a whole bunch more. So. Yeah, I'll give you guys a review of the movie afterwards, and then we'll talk about a few things, but yeah. Woo! Hey guys, I literally just watched the Saints Rest movie, and wow, I got a lot of good thoughts. So, first of all, congratulations to Noga for making such a fantastic movie. Congratulations to everybody involved. So what are my thoughts? Initial, I like the movie a lot. So, if I were to make a myth at the beginning, the pacing is kind of slow. And then if you go back and think about it, it makes sense because you're kind of talking about the main sister's agony in the beginning of the movie. Like, the movie kind of illustrates this girl who's in lonely distress, I would say. And then when her and her other sister start talking again in the movie, that's when things start to really pick up and you start to feel a lot of love and joy from the film. The music is amazing. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel in the beginning, but by the end I was just I was infatuated with all the music. The train song was so good. Just all of it though. I mean, the train song was funny, but also it's very catchy and now it's stuck in my head for the rest of my life. Thank you. But the rest of it was really, really good. The story is captivating, is really nice. It is a struggle that I think I deal with internally myself as well. I went to school for theater. I find myself stuck on whether or not, I want to be at home or I want to go out and see the world and stuff, But Grinnell is a beautiful, captivating place. They do a really good job of picturing that in the film. It's really interesting seeing the main character walking around at night. Also, they do a really good shot, and something that I've noticed, the sidewalks in Grinnell, just with all the trees, it's just so beautiful. They do a really good shot of her walking away. So I absolutely love that. Because Grinnell is so beautiful, all of the shots were so beautiful. Noga did an amazing job capturing the beauty of Grinnell. Everyone did a good job capturing the beauty of Grinnell. Crosby, fantastic. The original owner of Saints Rest, his cameo was amazing. And this brings up a point that I would love to see the movie from eyes of someone who doesn't live in Grinnell, or at least watch it with people who don't live in Grinnell or have never been to Grinnell, because it's interesting when you see the guy who used to own Saints Rest and he makes his cameo. That scene is extra funny for us. We were all laughing. But I wonder what it's like for other people, Same thing with Crosby, who is this Crosby guy? That's what I think other people would wonder. So I'd love to see the film from someone else's eyes. Also, there's little things in there, there's a scene where they're at the middle school, I don't know if they're supposed to be at the middle school, like in the movie, but like I see them at the middle school, and they go, the Too Many Strings band is there, and then there's a bunch of adults reading in the library, and I'm like, why are there a bunch of adults reading in the library of the middle school? I don't know. That it just like from the perspective of someone who's from Grinnell, that was like a weird. So it was hard to sort of separate myself from that. Also, working on the film, it was like extra special because there was like a cameo like every few minutes of someone who worked on the set, which was really, really amazing. I wanted to give a shout out actually to some of the people that I got to spend time with. Michael Kelly, I'm not going to remember all full names, so just Michael, Brianna, Grace, Macy. Like, you know, I got to hang out with them a lot, you know, because we were PAs and stuff like that and assistants in other ways. So that was a lot of fun. You know, again, another shout out to Kevin. The artwork ended up beautiful. It looked great. So it's nice to kind of see all that work paid off. And it was cool just seeing a cameo from something like oh, there's Noga. Oh, look, it's Michael, you know. Hey, it's Tyson, you know, just everywhere you would see someone cameoing. I'm pretty sure Tyson makes 2 cameos. If that was him at the bowling alley, I'm not sure. I feel like that was him. So it was really, really cool. And then just something that like a big moment for me was just to see my name like in the credits. I was like, that's nice. You know, it felt really, really good. So just overall initial feelings like warmth, really good. I think if I had like one, so like that myth in the beginning, I retract it by saying like, you know, it highlights the agony. When they start talking about what happened to their mom, that's when the movie picks up for me. But if I had one last little myth, it was just the end was gone. And I was like, oh, it's over. But you gotta still listen to that musical, like the beautiful music. The musical, that's beautiful musical. I don't know. Loved it, though. I loved it. I had a really good time watching it. It was very special to me. If I had one thing I wish I could do, like I said a million times, I wish I could watch it from fresh eyes. Michael was funny. And the reason why I say that specifically is because when you work on the set and you hear the same line over and over and over again, my thought was, man, this guy is so annoying. Like when I was on the set, I was like, this guy is so annoying. And the way that they cut it and edit it, and it is just like you love the Michael character. He's so good. And I don't think the actual person is annoying. I just like when I was watching like them play out the scene, that was another really interesting thing was like it felt like deja vu from time to time because I would, you know, I mean, I sat there and I watched like several of these scenes like 600 times in a row. Not that much, but it was a lot. You know, I'd watched it a lot. So I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like, and then you move on to a scene that I didn't remember. And then you move on to another one where I was like, oh, yep, there it is. There's that scene again. Like, I've seen that one. So it's really interesting seeing it from this perspective. I've never had that opportunity, and it was a delight. I really enjoyed the movie. Yeah, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to be able to see it. I can't wait to like buy it. That's my pizza. I can't wait to buy it and you know, just watch it with my kids and like show them my name at the end. You know, it's like that moment like when I was growing up. My dad always said, you know, we'd be watching ER and they'd be pushing that card out and he'd look at me and go, I helped design that. You know, and now I have that pride also where like, you know, I can just show my kids at the end of the movie like, that's my name, you know. So it's just crazy thinking about it. Like, yeah, wow. I'm looking forward to seeing what's next. Thanks, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you know, thanks for if you get a chance, I would definitely check this movie out. I know it's going to be playing in September in the park at Central Park. So, yeah, So check it out. It's gonna be like one of the late night movies. Outside of that, I don't know. I've heard there's gonna be one in Des Moines, like a viewing in Des Moines, but I don't know. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Saints Rest. That's been my day. Thanks guys for bearing with me. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.